Okay, very good evening, everyone. Welcome to Singapore English Online International Toastmasters Club meeting. we've just started to so-called change our name in the process of that. So I'm still getting used to it. Am I getting it right, President? Really, Singapore International Online English. That's right. Okay. Welcome anyway from wherever you are. My name is Hakim. I'm your Toastmaster of the evening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on where you are. And welcome once again to our Toastmasters chapter meeting. Now, we've got a couple of people already online with us this evening, and we've got quite a packed program coming up. So before we get started, perhaps we would like to hear, and we've got someone on the chat as well saying, if maybe we could hear from some of our guests. Okay, so if you're a first timer, here at our club, could you raise your hands and we would unmute you and perhaps let you introduce yourself. Okay, so we've got a couple here. We've got Shekhar, if I'm getting you correctly. Yeah. Would you like to introduce yourself and perhaps tell us a little bit more where you're coming from and how you got to know about us?
Fine. Thank you very much, the TMOD. My name is Shekhar, Toastmaster Shekhar from Santa Cruz Speakers Toastmasters Club from India. And I was introduced by Toastmaster Panos, who attends our meeting from Greece. He gave me the invitation. I've just been very shortly, I'm preparing for completing my DTM. I've already ACG, ALB. So there are only 30 days remaining for me to become a DTM. Otherwise, that syllabus is going to get closed. And as far as my pathways is concerned, I have selected effective coaching and I'm pursuing L2P2. That's my introduction. I think.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shekhar. Let's give him a round of applause, everyone. Yeah, nice. Okay, let's see who. We've got another raised hand here. Toastmaster Janet Adams. Janet, if we could unmute you here. And you can introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from and how you got to know about us.
My name is Janet Adams. I'm a DTM. I'm a member of two clubs, a charter member of Environmentally Correct Toastmasters and also Richardson Evening Toastmasters. So I live in Farmers Branch, which is just outside of Dallas, Texas. And actually I spotted your club name in the list on the Toastmost website. And when I saw that I could visit internationally at a time where I didn't have to disturb my sleep, I said, yay, I can try this one. Thank you very much for having me.
What time is Texas now?
It's 8 o'clock in the morning here.
Dennis, California is 6 a.m. 5 or 6 a.m. Dennis.
6 a.m.
6 a.m.
California 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. in Dallas. Well, welcome. Round of applause as well. Toastmaster Janet Adams. Yeah. Okay, have you got any other first timers? Any other first timers? Raise your hands if you're a first timer. Let me look around. David, is that you raising your hands, David? You've given me a thumbs up. Are you a first timer here at our club? Perhaps you'd like to tell us where you're from and how you got to know about us.
Right, I found you on Easy Speak. I'm TM, I'm CC and CL. Started the Pathways 1 for Woodford Green in Essex, just outside of London in the UK. And it's now 2:15 in the afternoon here.
Right.
So I've been kind of zooming around the world. Thank you.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? Thank you so much, David, for introducing yourself. Give him a round of applause, guys. Yeah, thank you. Is there anyone else? Raise your hands or forever hold your peace. Anyone else? Is that Ty Loy? Is that you, Ty Loy? Is that your first time here?
Yeah, first time.
Okay. Tell us where you're from. You know about us.
In fact, have a plan to meet another meeting on USA, but the guys in USA, some Asia people. So I wonder maybe to Singapore, maybe close to Hong Kong, the better, or maybe the education no very well, better than Hong Kong. So I try, I wonder, I look. So I try to visit and I connected with Mr. Leo before. So it's okay. I have a look, just have a look in here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tai Loi. Thank you for joining us. Now, they say, you know, sometimes when one thing doesn't go your way, it is replaced by something better. And I hope you'll have a better time here with us at our meeting tonight. Okay, I'm going to close the introductions if there are no further new or first-time guests around here.
Yeah, I am here, Vikaruddin Muhammad.
Oh, okay. I saw your name, Vikaruddin.
Yes.
Okay, would you like to introduce yourself? Perhaps show us your picture. Tell us where you're from and how you got to know about us.
Yeah, at the moment, if you would like to see me, because I am on another PC, and I got opportunity to get your link, one of the Toastmaster International, I joined over there. The time has matched. I am the resident of Bahrain. Basically, I am from India. I'm getting an opportunity to speak in front of international speakers and get a chance to see their ideas, how they are doing their conducting meeting, Toastmaster, Journal Evaluator, speakers, timers, accounters, overall meeting. I would like to see what it can value added service if I can give a feedback at the end of the session, if I can, because I am attending all over the meetings due to this current situation. Thanks to Toastmasters, thanks to Zoom, who is connecting us all over the world. So being here, thank you so much, time of TMOD, which is Toastmaster of the Day. So happy to see you, your experience in the whole meeting. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Vikaruddin. Give him a round of applause, guys. Yeah. Joining us from Bahrain, but originally from India. Now, we've got lots of people from everywhere tonight, so I hope this will be a melting pot, you know, a place where we learn from one another, given this opportunity to Zoom all over the world, joining us together here at our Singapore Online International English Toastmasters Club meeting. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for, oh, okay, we've got one more person raising up his hand. David Paris. David Paris, if you are here, unmute yourself. Yes. Would you like to say your first time with us?
Yes, David Paris, Bridgetown, Barbados in the Caribbean. Distinguished Toastmaster, a member of the Bridgetown Toastmasters Club. I saw you on one of the Toastmasters site on the internet, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. We are happy to have you here. Give it up for David Paris as well. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us and spending your time with us tonight. Or rather, what time is it in Barbados right now?
Exactly 12 hours behind you.
Exactly 12 hours, 9:18 a.m. That's nice. That's nice. All right. Wherever you are, we've got a very packed program for all of you tonight. We've got our table topics as well as 9 project speakers, beg your pardon, 8 project speakers who will be speaking from the various manuals tonight. Now, they will be speaking not just from Singapore, but from all over the world as well, because our club members are international. They are not even regional. They are from everywhere around the world. So hopefully this will give you a good experience, a good feel of what Toastmasters is really meant to be, a place where everyone can learn from each other in an open and constructive manner. Now, before we start, let us allow me to introduce our appointment holders for tonight. We have our R counter. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Fiona Chen. Fiona Chen, if you're there, Yeah, raise your hands. Where are you, Fiona? She's our art counter for this evening. Oh, I see her. Fiona Chen, she is listening out for our disfluencies, our speech fillers. That is Fiona Chen. Our timer for tonight, distinguished Toastmaster, Dennis Ham. Dennis. Yeah, that's it. Here he is. Oh, yep. Showing us his multitude of colors. Dennis, if you can make your shirt change colors, I will really take my hat off to you. Our timer for tonight, guys, Dennis Ham. Our grammarian, who I'm going to invite in a short while to give us the word of the evening. She's none other than Toastmaster Angela Lansbury. Let's give it up for her and let us hear our word of the evening. Toastmaster Angela, over to you.
Good evening, everybody. Word of the day, you can see it in the chat box. We have enthusiasm. I hope you will be enthusiastic, which is an adjective, and speak enthusiastically, which is an adverb, with a lot of enthusiasm. And you might even enthuse, which is a verb. I'm sure you will all be very enthusiastic about this word. I should also be listening out for alliteration, assonance, oxymorons like seriously funny, and other contradictions, and all the interesting things you have to say. Bye for now.
All right, thank you very much, Toastmaster Angela Lansbury, our language evaluator. She will be helping us with our language evaluations. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard from the lady yourself. The word of tonight is enthusiasm, enthusiastic, enthused, enthusiastically. Feel free and use it as much as you can, correctly, of course, in your speeches and in your presentations. Okay, it brings us to our next segment, which is our table topics. And our table topics, Mistress, beg your pardon, really? Is that two fingers? Two, you want to speak? Okay, let us welcome first our club president of the Singapore Online International Toastmasters Club. Give it up for distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmaster for around the world. The list will go on, so I will not measure country by country. Being seen to be a strong, decisive decision maker is a critical factor in establishing our leadership credibility. A quick and well thought though decision backed by logic, gut instinct, and taking personal responsibility for whatever the outcome will be can boost our professional standing in the eyes of those around us. While apparently is indecisive tends to leave an impression of a doubt and lack of confidence, and our capability and experience can come into question. Add to that personal frustration, energy, and time that go along with frustrated decision-making process. Indecisiveness is generally seen as a positive attribute, seen as a positive professional attribute. A 2014 study of 6,500 workers found that decisiveness was one of the top 3 skill sets that made the bigger impact of helping leaders to build credibility. The other 2 skill sets was open communication and professional pressure. As someone who for many years angered over even quite simple decisions, I can see now how my old habits and indecisive ways help me back. I'm sure at times my team watch as I leader and post-candidate. I offer cost project to lead. Sorry, and I struggle to make key decisions. It's a reverse on me. I did not proceed it, but I went to be decisive and make the fast decision based on facts and figure and logic. I did not bother to discuss and aware, or even, and sometimes I fail to make my decision because I want to leave good idea very easy. How do you rate your decision making skill? Toastmaster Lisa, how do you rate your decision making skill?
My question is, how do I
rate your decision making skill?
5?
How do you rate 1 to 5?
Oh, 1 to 5, then I rate 3. Because I don't really, sometimes I take a very long time to decide, or I just decide on the whim.
Okay. Toastmaster Alicia, do you have unshakable confidence when making big calls required of you within your roles? Do you have unshakable confidence when making the big calls required of you within your roles, whether in Toastmaster or whether in your corporate life?
Oh, for me, I make decisions pretty fast. Because as long as I got the facts, and I know where I'm going, I like to make it fast. But sometimes when it's a major project, and the facts are not clear, so I would like to do more research. And when I do more research, then I'll become more clear, and the crowded forest in front of me clears up, and decision making is much faster.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Alicia. Toastmaster Dennis, do you agony over decision taking way longer than you would like? Miss, do you?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Do you agony, A-G-O-N-I-S? Okay, never mind. I give you a different side of question. Do you get stuck in a cycle of city input, collaboration, and agreement, hoping to make everyone happy even when you know it's not possible?
Well, you try to do your best to please everybody, but you know you can't, so you just do the best you can.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Dennis Ham. Making difficult decisions is what we look to leaders to do. We expect our leaders to have courage, confidence to make the tough decision, give direction, and take responsibility for it. There's 5 key areas you can become a more decisive decision maker. Take a balanced view. Embrace uncertainty. Engage stakeholder. Use your internal GPS. What is your internal GPS? That is to trust your intuition and internal knowing. And the last point, own it. And the most importantly, you must own the outcome, good or bad. Can you be more decisive? Reflect on the decision you currently have on your plate right now. Could you be more decisive in your decision making? Yes, it's important to listen, gather critical information, and weigh up the option, but be up a decisive decision. All this good work could go to waste. Your leadership credibility as reputation is at stake. Make decisions with a confidence and courage. Take action and move to the next big decision. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, our club president, distinguished Toastmaster, Willie Low. He's also our charter president, in case you didn't know, the one who started this club not even half a year ago. I think just slightly over. Yeah, 6 months ago. And we've already established and obtained the President Distinguished Award for this club. President Distinguished Award that is for this club, Singapore Online Toastmasters Club. Congratulations, President Willie and his wonderful team of executive committee members. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to a next segment that will be very interesting. And for that, we are going to employ or invite someone from down under, all the way from Sydney, Australia. She is a highly sought after, very enthusiastic, very amiable as well. Give it up for Toastmaster Lee Buckley.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day, Muhammad Nur Hakim. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, or as we say in Australia, good day, fellow Toastmasters and guests from all around the world. Welcome to the impromptu speaking segment of Singapore International English Online Toastmasters Club chapter meeting tonight. Table Topics is a long-standing Toastmasters tradition where members and guests get to practice their impromptu speaking skills. You will be given a topic and 2 minutes to provide your answer. The green light will come on at 1 minute, the yellow light at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red light at 2 minutes. The buzzer will be sound at 2 minutes 30 seconds. And this is to help you with time management as well as speaking to allocated times. As you can see, I have been changing my virtual background, and I will be using my virtual backgrounds as the topic for your, topic questions for your table topics tonight. Could you indicate that you could see my virtual background, please, by just giving me some signs like thumbs up, everyone? Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the fun part of the evening. And I will encourage everyone to let your hair down, let your creative juices flow, and show your enthusiasm in answering the topics. If you'd like to participate, please indicate so by typing TT in the chat box. Remember, if you don't volunteer, you will be voluntold, or in this case, volunpicked by the Table Topics Master. Are you ready? The theme for tonight's meeting is decisiveness. Speakers, may I ask you to please pin the timer when you are speaking. The first topic for tonight. According to Forrest Gump, my mama said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Life is like a box of chocolates. J, life is like a box of chocolates.
Do you believe that life is sweet? At times, it may be sour, but just like a box of chocolates, it's full of surprises, not necessarily good at all times. How many of you have gotten a piece of chocolate thinking that it was oh so delicious, then suddenly you find out in the middle, it doesn't taste good. You know, sometimes life is like that. We try it out, and then we find out some things are not meant for us. That is fine. What's important is that we've tried. As a Toastmaster, I've experienced a lot of ups and downs. Sometimes I plan out my speeches. In my head, during practice, it goes well. But during the actual, sometimes I fumble. Sometimes I fail. At times, I get to repeat my speeches. It makes me feel sad a bit, but that's life. If we do not accept our downfalls, then we cannot move forward. So life is like a box of chocolates. Even though it has a lot of surprises, we should all enjoy its sweetness. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Jay, for your enthusiastic answer. I do agree with you. When you fall down, there's only one way to go, and that is up. Thank you for that, Jay. The next topic, To Be or Not to Be, by William Shakespeare. To be or not to be. May I please welcome Angela from Singapore Online to answer the topic. To be or not to be.
To mute or not to mute? That is the question. To be or not to be? Of course to be. I always want to be. I want to be language evaluator. I want to be Toastmaster of the day. I want to be speaker. I want to be so many things. I can only imagine Hamlet was not a member of Toastmasters, or he would have said goodbye to Ophelia and gone off to a Toastmasters and found somebody else. That was bad luck. Aren't we lucky where we are today, that we can meet people from all over the world? To be or not to be? Well, we thought our meetings were not to be when they were cancelled and the community centres all closed down. And here we are online, which proves the old saying by Milton that every cloud has a silver lining. We are to be online. We are to be happy. That's our choice, because we choose to be, unlike Hamlet, who was suicidal. And, well, he had a bad start because he had parental problems. His mother and his father died, and his stepfather, well, you know the story. But even if things have started off badly, you can always change your attitude and look to the future and see that you can make them different for your children, your family, and those around you, and indeed yourself. What do I want to be? I always wanted to be an author. I am an author. I wanted to be a club president. I am a club president. What do I want to be next? And what do you want to be? Well, you can be the next topic speaker if you want. All you have to do is put your hand up and see if Lee Buckley chooses you. And then you might be the winner of tonight's ribbon. Who knows what you will be? Make sure that you be happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela, Toastmaster Angela. I love your new saying. I will add that to my book, to mute or not to mute. Thank you, Angela. Our next topic. Do you swipe left or right? Do you swipe left or right? Sonali.
Hello everyone. So here I start. Swipe left and swipe right. We are very much familiar. Youngsters are too much familiar about this kind of thing. Swipe left or swipe right. Tinder, be it Tinder or be it any, I guess, Bumble. Swipe, making friends, dating anybody. Swipe left. If you like that person, swipe left. Sorry, swipe right. If you don't like that person, swipe right, left. I would like to take this away and take this thing and connect it to our real life also. We come across to various wrong things in our life. We come across to various people who tell us something which we don't like. So just swipe left them. Just don't think too much about them. And the good things you should swipe right and say yes to every opportunity you are coming across. Say no to and please try to say no. Some people are very adamant and some people try to please everybody and they can't say no to anyone. So please try to say no also. If you don't liking something, please try to say no. And if you are liking something, try to say yes. I'm very enthusiastic to have this topic to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sonali. And thank you for reminding us that in Toastmasters, we usually say yes. So we're always swiping right. But sometimes it's also good to swipe left. I can't favor my right hand too much, right? I've got to be fair to my left hand as well. Thank you, Sonali, for answering that topic. Our next topic. Is money more important than love? Is money more important than love? I would like to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Janet Adams to answer this topic, please.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master, for this question. Is money more important than love? No, money is not more important than love. Of course, money cannot keep you warm at night. Money cannot say hello or goodbye or talk to you. Money is important. Money is important to have the things we need to live. So we enthusiastically go to work to earn our money, but then we come home to our loved ones. Well, right now we're home with our loved ones, as the case may be. So I don't believe that money is more important than love, because love and passion for things is what ultimately gives us joy in life. And I think we should choose joy, because in the end, when we leave, the legacy we leave is not money, but how we were kind and respectful and tolerant to each other. So I believe we should enthusiastically choose love over money. Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Janet. I love your enthusiasm in choosing your choice, in making your choice tonight. Thank you for that. The next topic is which way? Which way? Please welcome Shekhar.
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master. Which way? There's always a confusion since your childhood. When you are very young, you would like to choose a way where all your friends keep driving you. You are not able to follow what your parents are saying, and you choose your way. Subsequently, depending upon the score of your marks in the final exam of the school, a way is decided, whether you are going for a medical, whether you're going for engineering or pharmacy. And depending on that, so again, you don't have a choice. It all depends on your score in the exams, which decides your way. Similarly, when you go after selecting as an engineering, you would like to go in for MBA. In the B school or an ordinary school, that again depends on the score what you have got during your final year exam and for your entrance and CAT exams, GATE exams, whatnot. So whichever way you decide, it is not going to happen. It all depends on your efforts and a bit of luck for you to collaborate in whichever way your way is. So this way, that way, another way is decided by destiny, and one has to be happy whichever way he has or she has and make the best out of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your answer. I do agree. To mute or not to mute. To be or not to be. This way or that way. We have to make a choice, and sometimes, you know, there's a silver lining behind every cloud. You never know. Thank you so much for your answer. The next speaker will be invited to answer this topic. Stop saying I wish and start saying I will. Stop saying I wish and start saying I will. Vikaruddin Muhammad.
Thank you so much, TTM, for giving me an opportunity to talk about stop saying I wish, start saying I will. Thank you so much. This is very interesting topic. Start saying, when I start before the Toastmaster, it's not allowing me to saying anything in front of any speakers. Now I got the opportunity to speak in front of all the international speakers, so I should not stop to saying I wish to saying a better speaker, better leader, better enthusiasm, better inspirational for everyone to start saying, I will become a great leader. I will become a great speaker. I will be a great enthusiasm for others. I will be great for everything, whatever they're saying. I will encourage to people to join in the virtual environment to speak about their ideas, not to stop. I wish this pandemic to go at all because we are getting connected all over the world by saying with the Zoom. I wish to start by saying it should be good for humans all over the world. I will be a great speaker to saying for not to stop any bad thing for any other things. I wish to be have a great speaker. I will be a great speaker. Thank you so much. Back to you, TTM. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speaking over here. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikarudin. Thank you for your enthusiasm and your inspirational message that, you know, I will. Instead of saying, I wish, I will. Just like tonight, I will go to bed early. I will not stay past 2 a.m. like what I used to do. And welcome everyone as well. Thank you so much for the topic. We do have time for a couple more questions. The next topic I would like to ask is start. Start. Please welcome Mushkan.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Start. To achieve a goal, we have to start somewhere. Like I wanted to speak publicly, fluently. So I started my journey by joining this club. Similarly, we should stop procrastinating. Instead, we should start doing things. If we don't do things, I don't say dreaming is, I won't say that dreaming is a problem. We should dream, but if all we do is dream, then we won't be able to come to the finish line. So we have to start somewhere. No matter if if we are late in some race, if we start late also, if we will reach to our goal, maybe we will reach late, but at least we would complete our goal. So we have to start somewhere to reach somewhere. Thank you.
Thank you, Mushkan. Yes, indeed, we do have to start to reach somewhere. Thank you for your answer. The next topic we have is sometimes doing nothing is the best thing to do. Sometimes doing nothing is the best thing to do. Kushbu.
Thank you, Toastmaster, for the recognition. I believe that sometimes you have to not to do anything and just sit idle and do nothing. We have to take rest for sometimes. We don't always go and do things कि हमें सब कुछ कि we will get something regularly if we will work hard. For sometimes doing nothing is the best thing to do, because sometimes it is okay not to be okay. And you have to me time. For sometimes you need some me time. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Kushbu. I do agree with you. We had a campaign here in Australia, and the campaign was asking people, are you okay? So it's, you know, it's okay if you just, when you see someone, if they look like they're unhappy, they're feeling down, you know, just walk up to them and say, are you okay? Okay. And you never know. They might open up to you and share something with you. So thank you for that, Kushbu. Our next topic is every day is a crossroad. Every day is a chance to change your life and make our world for the better. I would like to welcome Linda to answer the topic. Please welcome Linda.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so I really like this topic, which is every day is a crossroads. Every day is a chance to change your life and our world for the better. So I happened to be watching a documentary on Michelle Obama today, and there was a question that a girl had asked her about how is it like transiting from being the first lady of the country back to your normal life. And she said this, it's never going to be normal again for me, because after having been the first lady, life is never going to be the same. So it is not a matter of getting back on track, because every day is a new track. Every day is an opportunity for us to decide how we want to live that day. Are we going to make the best of it, or are we just going to drift, just like a leaf in the ocean? So that is a decision. An interesting thing is, even if you choose not to do anything about it, in itself, it is still a decision. So every day is a decision. And how would you choose to live tomorrow? Because you can't change what happened yesterday, and you can only live today. But tomorrow, as you open your eyes, this is a new chance for you to do something that would really make you happy by the end of the day. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Linda. Wow, you've inspired me to make a decision. At least I'll make a decision to wake up at 10 o'clock tomorrow, get out of bed and go and do my 10-kilometer walk. Thank you, Toastmaster Linda. And this is your chance, your last chance, everyone, your last opportunity to enthuse us with your inspirations and your thoughts. Remember, if you don't volunteer, you'll be volunteered tonight. The last topic is, do I turn left when nothing is right? Or do I turn right when there's nothing left? Do I turn left when nothing is right? Or do I turn right when there's nothing left? Please welcome Toastmaster Abdul Karimi.
You never. Why? Because looking back, you only stay down by looking back. So you always have to keep looking forward, because we all make mistakes in life. By looking back, we're not going to get nothing out of it. Just keep going, make right, just keep going straight. Eventually you'll get where you want to get. You just have to be patient and persistent. You got to keep going. Just remember why we're here. We're all here today. We're all here for a reason. We're all here to improve our English, our communication. We have to just keep going, because we all have some kind of our weaknesses. We all want to get that weakness to become strong. So we all supposed to have to go from negative to positive, and from positive to great. We just got to keep going. So what am I going to say to you guys? Just remember, keep going right, because that's going to be your tunnel to your destination. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karimi. And thank you to all the table topics speakers tonight for all your creative juices in answering the questions and in your enthusiasm. I'd like to leave you with this quote: be decisive. A wrong decision is generally less disastrous than no decision. Thank you, everyone, for your participation. And back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day, Muhammad Nur Hakim.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Lee Buckley. Wonderful. By you a lot of interesting quotes, and I never knew that the Toastmaster, or rather the Zoom virtual background, had so many different types of quotes can be loaded up in there. This is the first time I'm seeing anyone using the virtual background as a way to share the quotes. So that's wonderful. And also a round of applause to all our speakers tonight. Give it up for them. All right, and at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, you should be seeing the voting going on for the best table topic speaker. Choose one speaker who you felt had really outshone the rest this evening. Okay, we have a selection of speakers right there. And the votings have started. So if you haven't chosen your best table topic speaker, please do so right now. President Willie, someone is highlighting, is Abdul Karimi left out from the list.
Give me a second.
Okay, let our president rectify it for a moment. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Linda, for pointing that out as well. Yes, as our president is, I think he's vigorously trying to retype everybody's names once again before we can launch the poll. Perhaps if I can ask our table topics master this evening, Toastmaster Lee Buckley, where do you get your inspiration for all the topics tonight?
Hi, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. I was just talking to people and zooming around the world, and I came across some quotes. I thought, wow, this will be good. Initially, I had a lot of very corporate ones, you know, being from corporate background, and I thought, nah, too boring. So I looked at everyday situations and everyday decisions instead. So,
I really like how it made us think a little bit deeper and perhaps reflect on our current state, especially with many of us being in the lockdown situation.
that's right. Thank you everyone for your participation.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again. We have relaunched the polls this time around, and we've added in everyone. So we would like to have your assistance to vote once again for your choice of best table topics speaker. All the names are listed right there. Okay, it looks like just over 50% of the people have voted. Yep. I know it's a difficult decision to make. Lots of good speakers tonight. Yeah, but choose the one that really stood out for you. Yeah, we've got a couple more coming in. And I can tell you the results are really close. So if you haven't voted, you could really make a difference here. Okay, we have just over 60% now. President Willie, are we closing these polls or are we going to let it run till 2 minutes? Is that it?
We can let it run until the table topic is over. Until the break, we come back for break.
Oh, there's a break now. Okay, so how long is our break for tonight? 10 minutes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to leave the polls open next 10 minutes because we are going to have a short 10 minutes break. The time right now, well, here is just about 10 p.m. here in Singapore. So we are right on the hour if you are aligned with us. If not, just look 10 minutes. I think our timer will be able to assist us. Timer, Toastmaster Dennis, are you able to give us a 10-minute countdown. Okay. So do look at our timer, ladies and gentlemen. We'll resume in 10 minutes. That's 10 p.m. right here in Singapore. We'll be back with you shortly. Don't leave your stations tonight.
So Willie, can you do breakout room for some people if they want to chat, newcomer and permanent member, things like that? If it's too difficult, don't do it. Just stay.
It's just that we need to know who need to go. I will assign manually. Anyway, everyone is allowed to check, no issue.
So some club do random selection for people to different rooms. They've had like 10 rooms, or in this case, maybe 12 rooms or 11 rooms, and then randomly describe or select 4 people to join each group so that you don't know who you're going to meet. So this is just a suggestion. So you don't have to do today. We may think about this 10-minute can be utilized for some connections and contacts and friendship.
Is there any way, are we doing any virtual mentoring? It's a
Hello,
new
everybody.
opportunity.
So nobody's talking. So I guess we need to encourage people to chat with each other or talk to each other or share something.
Yes, let's chat. Sorry, I was busy trying to make my cup of tea.
Has anybody done high performance leadership, and what was your subject?
The old system or the new system?
What's the difference? Has it changed?
I'm not sure. I did it the old system.
So what did you do for your project?
I'll just turn on my video for a sec. What I did was I designed a leadership course. So you know how in Toastmasters we have speechcraft. So I designed an equivalent of that, but in leadership. So we ran 6 sessions over 6 nights. We talked about breathing, about coaching versus mentoring, about listening, and a few other things as well. So I designed the course with somebody. We delivered them over 6 weeks. We limited our training to 10 participants. It was free for the 10. So I had about 20 people signed up, but I said, no, sorry, we can only take 10 to do that. And then at the end of it, they got their certificates, and then we follow up with them as well. So it was a leadership course that we designed.
TTM Lee, is there a course, are you arranging in future for speechcraft?
I just did one online speechcraft for a group of people. What we did was we scheduled it for face-to-face, but of course the lockdown happened and we moved everything to online. So I must say I was very impressed with them. They went from, you know, how the shaking and the voice shaking and the hand shaking to very confident presenters just within 4 weeks.
Okay, great. Yeah. Can we get your videos or any blog, workshop to inspired from you to get some knowledge and information, or are we getting any virtual mentoring? You know, the situation getting closer for us over the online. If you can give me the virtual mentoring, it will be great.
Sure. President Willie, have we got anything planned?
We have something in plan, but we don't have the dates. We need participants to join the club, and we'll greatly organize one. Actually, we need one more to meet the minimum of 4 people. Right, Anna?
Sorry.
I forget how many people are we allowed for speech club. Is minimum 5, right? 4 or 10. Okay.
It all depends on how many people we want. But I've conducted a speech crowd where there were only 3 people. But because we had already committed to those that had signed up for it, we just went ahead with it. So.
Okay. So yeah. I guess we must meet a minimum of 5 to 10.
Yeah. But I think what Lee shared with us, Speechcraft on leadership, I think that's pretty cool. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. I'd like to, yeah.
Yes, and sorry, DTM, I did it. It was because I couldn't find any leadership equivalent of Speechcraft, and so we did it that way as our high performance leadership project.
Okay. So what can you just share? What were the topics that you covered?
Yes. Let me I'll just find some information for you,
okay,
and then I'll post it.
Thank you.
Hello guys.
Hello.
How Dennis is doing, being our time evaluator?
3 more minutes.
I meant to say, how are you, Dennis?
Good. I'm just trying to let everybody know we got less than 3 minutes before we need to restart.
Okay.
Oh, we forgot to pause the recording. We're recording all of this.
Personally, we're talking to y'all.
Mr.
Nice
Dennis,
to see
timer, how you are managing your time using the app or the
Our 10
time?
minutes is up.
Thank you very much. Our timer. There was a question on how were you managing your time. I think you have a timer with you, is it, Dennis?
Yeah, I have a timer. I didn't have a countdown timer, but I had a count up, and I was just keeping track of it.
Is this the same that you use beside your oven in the kitchen?
It's not connected to my computer.
I would use the one that I have.
Great to use. Great to see that device using for the timer. Mostly we use the mobile or from the PC, the timer. Great to see. Thank you, Mr. Dennis.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the wonderful conversation that we heard over the break. And welcome once again back to our chapter meeting this evening. Welcome for those guests who have just joined in to the Singapore Online International Toastmasters Club. Now, ladies and gentlemen, over the break, we have finalized our results for our table topics segment. We have a tie for the first place. We have 2 speakers, each getting 4 votes. The tie goes to, can we have a round of drum roll? Anyone? Drum rolls, everyone? Okay, our winners for our table topic segment. Give it up for Toastmaster Shekhar and Toastmaster Abdul Karim. Congratulations to our 2 winning Toastmasters. Thank you so much for your enthusiastic participation as well as delivering us the very enthusiastic and very exciting table topic speeches. And of course, to our table topics master as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to our next segment today, which is our prepared speeches. As I said, we have 8 prepared speakers today, and we are going to go through one by one. They're delivering a whole array of speeches lots of different topics, lots of different levels. So we are going to be treated to a nice spread of speeches tonight. Now, our first speaker will be Toastmaster Joan D'Souza. Toastmaster Joan D'Souza. She will be speaking out of the Dynamic Leadership Manual level 3, Increasing Knowledge, Connect with Storytelling. Now, before that, let us get her evaluator. She is going to be Distinguished Toastmaster Patricia Lam. Distinguished Toastmaster Patricia Lam, you're with us tonight, aren't you? Could you read out the purpose statements for this project, please?
I think there would be some confusion there because I'm supposed to evaluate speaker 3.
Beg your pardon. Toastmaster Choi Hyung Min.
Thank you.
Yes, Toastmaster Choi Hyung Min. If you're with us, could you please read out the purpose statements for this speech, please?
Right. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Choi. Now, this speech will go on for 5 to 7 minutes, and our timer will indicate the lights as follow. On the 5th minute, the green screen will be shown. Our timer, Toastmaster Dennis. It will look something like this. All right. And on the 6th minute, the amber screen will be shown. 7th, red as well. And 30 seconds later, there will be Dennis jumping up and down in his small little rectangle there. Please stop because we want him to continue for the entire night. Okay. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Dennis. Now our speaker coming up here will be introduced as follows. She is learning to become an interesting person and perhaps, if I may add, an enthusiastic person as well. So that is your reminder to use the word of the day for our language evaluator. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together and welcome our first project speaker for this evening. The title of her speech, Interesting Person. Give it up for Toastmaster Joan D'Souza. Joan, are you with us, Joan? Let's see. I saw her just now. Okay, hang on. Joan D'Souza. I think she needs help with unmuting. Joan, here we go. All right, Joan, over to you.
Okay. Before I would start, my apologies. I would like to know the word of the day because I just walked in. So I would like to use the word of the day. Could you please share?
Joan, the word of the day is enthused or enthusiastic, enthusiastically. Any form of this word.
All right. President, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Today, I would like to share enthusiastically a small story from a small province in China. A young man who came from a small province in China. Let's name this young man as Li Wang. In Chinese language, Mandarin, Baba means father and Ars means son. Baba, I want to make a difference in the world. I cannot see all these people traveling far away from their loved ones to make ends meet. I cannot see all these pregnant women jostling in buses and trains. And besides, I also want to save the environment. All this car suit is just killing all the animals. Let's heal the environment. Let's save our planet. Let's bring everyone together. Ars, I understand your mission, but how are you going to take this decision without having a setback on your own personal family? Baba, I've thought about that. But the benefit that my technology will make on this whole world far outweighs the benefit that my decision will make on my own personal family. Besides, do you remember the days when you and I lived so far away from each other? We longed to meet with each other. I wanted to meet with Angela, but I couldn't meet with her. Do you want everyone to go through that situation? Urs, I can understand your burning desire, and I really admire your vision to serve the community. But Baba, how am I going to do this? I'm so lonely in this country. Besides, I have a very young family, and I don't even speak properly in English language. How am I going to take this big step? Baba said, Urs, don't worry. If you have the will, you will make your own way. Baba and Mama will always support your decision and your dreams. Now, Li Wang had a very big dream. He wanted to bring the entire world together. He wanted to serve the community. Back in China, 20 years ago, he had attended a meeting where Bill Gates presided. And that very moment, he knew that the only way that he can serve the community is by helping himself first. So he decided to apply to the US and go to the US to pursue his dreams. He went ahead and applied for his visa. First time he applied, his visa got rejected. But Urs or Lee was not the kind who would ever give up. He applied again and again, second time, third time, fourth time, consistently, with tenacity he applied. Consistent rejection. Rejection for 8 times. But Lee never ever gave up. And 9th time he applied, and boom, his visa got accepted, and he took off to Silicon Valley. He landed up in a new country with a big vision, but with a very young family and not knowing the English language. Besides, he just knew coding, but nothing was going to stop him. He had 2 key strengths: extreme hard work and humility. With that, he was willing to conquer the entire world. And he worked hard. He worked hard for 18 hours per day for 15 years, day and night. After 15 years, he just wanted to pursue his vision. Vision to bring the whole world together. Baba, he spoke with his father. I have experience, but no money. I have ambition, but no support. Urs, if you have the vision, go for it. Now, today is the right time to pursue your dream. Baba was always so supportive. He woke up next day morning. He wanted to speak with his wife, Angela. How is he going to speak with Angela that he's going to give up his job? How are they going to survive in this country with 3 little kids and supposedly just on the savings if his startup doesn't work? He spoke with Angela. Angela was in the kitchen fixing breakfast. Angela, do you remember the days when we were in the university? We were so far away from each other and we longed to meet with each other. I wanted to be with you. I wanted to share with all you my sorrows, my happiness. I wanted to cry with you and cry on your shoulders. But you were so far away, 10 hours away from me. But now I've decided that we should not let others to go through this situation. We should bring the whole world together. Parents meet with their children. Patients who need doctors need to be with their doctors with one click. Angela said, confused, how are we going to do this, Lee? Lee's heart was pounding and he blurted out. He said, Angela, I've decided to give up my job. This new company, the company that I work for, refuses to accept my video conferencing technology. So I've decided to start up my new company. Angela was scared. She said, Lee, who's going to invest in our new company? We don't have money, no family and friends have to invest in our startup company. Nobody is going to be willing. But Lee was not the kind to ever give up. He worked really hard with a lot of hard work and humility. He even won the trust of his client. My friends, I'm talking here about none other than Eric Yuan, the founder of Zoom. I just gave him a fictitious name, Lee Wong. I would like to end up my story with a short quote. One should always pursue your dream and never give up. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmasters of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Joan D'Souza. Let us give her a round of applause. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Joan. Congratulations, well done. I like the story. I thought that was very engaging tonight. A lot of inspirational and engaging stories we have this evening. Thank you very much. Now our next speaker number 2 for tonight is Toastmaster Phillip Dambisa. He will be speaking from the Innovative Planning Level 3, Increasing Knowledge to deliver social speeches. Now for his evaluator, let us put our hands together and welcome distinguished Toastmaster Patricia Lam.
Sorry, Hakim, I just walked away and I missed it. Is it for Phillip?
That's right.
All right, so I was just told that it's the third speaker. Right, my apologies. Now the purpose is for the member to practice delivering a well-organized and well-delivered social speeches in front of club members. The time is 3 to 4 minutes and the title is Where the Heart Lies. Thank you, Hakim.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Patricia. Now our next speaker will be speaking on the title, Where the Heart Lies. I think that's a very interesting speech title. Now, can we get Phillip up here, please? Phillip, where are you? Oh, there he is. Right. Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our second speaker for this evening. His speech is 5 to 7 minutes. It will be a social speech. Where the Heart Lies. Give it up for Phillip Dambisa.
I would like to propose a toast. In the face of a global pandemic, the way we, as a society, go about our day-to-day proceedings has changed rapidly and massively. From offices to restaurants and sporting events, meeting as one in physical spaces is currently not a commonality. That has meant that across a plethora of fields, titans of industries, and to a small extent, Toastmasters clubs have had difficulties adapting. Transitioning to an online medium for a public speaking initiative may seem very simple. Get a Zoom ID, ask whomever can log on, and get the ball rolling. But no, to believe that is to reduce the social value that each respective club brings to its club members and guests. To make an environment a home for all that embrace it is no easy feat. Yet that is exactly what I and so many others have experienced at the Singapore Online English Toastmasters Club. The enthusiastic hospitality, in conjunction with the ability to manage meetings well, shows the balance between caring, professionalism, and a desire to see others grow. To add to that, at my very first meeting with the club, there were 6 speakers, 6 evaluators, 10 table topics, and awards across the board. Simply outstanding. When one thinks of the concept of beauty and the nation of Singapore, it is easy to reflect on the architectural marvels like the Marina Bay Sands and the rain vortex in Joe Changi Airport, or perhaps even the botanical delights of the garden by the bay. But today I hope each and every member in this Zoom call can add to the list the experiences they've received within this club. With that being said, to the Singapore Online Toastmasters Club and to all of you, thank you for making me feel at home, and may you all continue to foster moments of joy, growth, excellence, and at that, proving that home is indeed where the heart lies. Back to you, Table Topics Master, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Phillip. And thank you for your toast to the Singapore Online International Toastmasters Club. I'm glad you found yourself at home here at our club. And we are all mainly at home anyway, as well for the last 1 or 2 months. So definitely home within home. Thank you very much for that toast. I felt that was really heartfelt, as well as a very warm speech. Now, our next speaker who will be presenting from the Speeches from Management Manual, Project 3, Persuade and Inspire. She is Toastmaster Doreen Neo. Now, to evaluate Toastmaster Doreen Neo, let us put our hands together and welcome Toastmaster Mukhlis Rahman.
Get the heart to move the mind is the title of the speech from Speeches by Management, Persuade and Inspire. It's 5 to 7 minutes. It is a topic to practice management speeches for work or even at home or an association like the Toastmasters Club. Main purpose is to inspire, motivate, and persuade for changes or other activities. But the most important I loved about this is the title. Get the heart to move the mind. And I believe, again, I said it's 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your sharing of the purpose statements. Now, our next speaker is presenting a Project 3, a complex topic on persuade and inspire. And it will be about how to inspire, motivate, and persuade people at work when each individual's receptive and potential is different and changes from day to day. I'm sure, like many of us, her strategy, as mentioned, will be to get the heart to move the mind. Now, Doreen has been in the workforce for 47 years and she retired in December of 2018 to focus on grandparenting. Now, how we wish we could join you in that as well. And currently, she is pursuing her passion in Toastmastering. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our next speaker. She is Toastmaster Doreen Neo.
Hello, everybody. Tonight, I'm talking on persuade and inspire, a wide and a tough topic. To begin with, you have to identify the subject and the object. By that, I mean subject. Who are you persuading and inspiring? Object, for what matter? You know, people are human beings and they have their own minds. To be able to PMI, persuade, motivate, and inspire people, in my opinion, you have first to understand that person or the people, challenges, struggles, etc., before you could start to persuade, motivate, or even inspire him to do something you want to achieve, or you see something in him that you want him to achieve. Having said that, let me share with you my thoughts. My mom used to tell me, to win the love of a man is through the stomach. That is, ladies have to learn how to do cooking. So to get a person motivated and inspired, you have to get the heart to move the mind. Getting the heart to move the mind. Persuasion is not about the issue, but acting on the issue. You have to use a mix of communication skill and leadership skill to bring around your ideas, your proposal, your recommendation to the attention of the people. After, and only after, successfully convince them that is the best for their own interest to apply. This is not sufficient. You still have to engage the audience. Listen to the audience, or if you are persuading or motivating an individual, then you have to encourage that individual for change. Next, my own abbreviation of 3 A's to apply. In order to motivate, you have to appreciate, show appreciation to the person for their contribution towards your goal and then towards the company's goal. The next A would be acknowledge. Acknowledge is very important. Acknowledge their autonomy needs and dependency needs. That is the needs of recognition and sense of belonging. Lastly, A is ask. Very simple, but then you have to ask thoughtfully and open-minded question in order to gather information for you to work on, make decision or action planning. At this point, I would like to stress that you have to be mindful of what you say. Why do I say that? Words are very powerful and have the ability to PMI, persuade, motivate, and inspire. Or worse, it can discourage, disuse, and dissuade that particular person. Words can wield the power of planting seeds of success or failure in the mind of a person. Let me cite a real scenario whereby the manager gives a very negative performance back to a subordinate and resulting in him implanting a failure in the mind of the subordinate. A subordinate received negative feedback on performance. He was told that he is not a diploma or a graduate holder. And worse, he didn't stand up or shine among his juniors. You can imagine in that moment, how did that subordinate felt? His ego, his esteem, self-esteem were shattered. He has lost his confidence. What if it is given in a different way? A positive performance feedback. Words like, you were proactive and you had the initiative to do things by yourself, and even going the extent of helping your colleagues in difficult customers' query. Imagine that subordinate. He will be up-spirited, his self-image will be improved, and self-esteem level increase. He will be satisfied with his autonomy and dependency because there is recognition of achievement as well as a sense of belonging and his desire to work better. I was that manager who PMI that subordinate. I even encouraged her to take up the diploma course sponsored by the company to upgrade herself for future career advancement. So my secret weapon was reach to her heart to move her mind. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no one method of motivation to fit all. Importantly is individual has different receptiveness. Just to remember two things. First, be mindful of your words when you engage your subordinate or the audience. Secondly, take care of the fragile heart and customize the strategy of PMI. Get the heart to motivate, to move to the mind. Thank you. Back to the Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Dorino. Thank you very much for that speech. Very nice and crisp, very clear. I love that. Thank you so much. Now, our next speaker is distinguished Toastmaster Patrick Guilfoyle. He will be speaking from the Leadership Development Manual, Level 4, Building Skills, Leading Your Team. His evaluator is our club Vice President of Education, Dynamic Leadership Level 5, Toastmaster Naveen Giri. Naveen, can you please read us the purpose statements, please?
Of course, man. Of course I can. The purpose of this project is for the member to lead a small team through the completion of a project. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her experience leading a team. Good luck to you, Patrick.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Naveen. Liking your lockdown hair. Yeah, it seems like you've got a bushy one going on right now.
I need to share my screen.
Yes, sure. So our next speaker, as mentioned, is distinguished Toastmaster Patrick Guilfoyle. He will be presenting a speech on leadership development entitled, I'm Not a Magician. I'm not a magician. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together and welcome distinguished Toastmaster Patrick Guilfoyle.
Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, I'm not a magician. Are you a magician? Can you show some card tricks? Are you good with magic? I know a lot of my friends when I was in school, they were good with card tricks. Even my son, who is 14 years old, he's good with card tricks. But for some reason or other, even though I would read the instructions on the back of the box that you would buy these card tricks, and they would have the instructions on the back, for some reason, I could never follow the instructions well for card tricks. I gave up on being a magician. Now, how does being a magician connect with being a good leader? Well, actually, a magician works hard, practices a lot, and tries to learn from other magicians. But to be a good leader, I want to share with you this quote from a very important person, a person who made a big mark on history, Theodore Roosevelt. Nobody cares how much you know until you know how much you care. And that's a very important quality of leadership. So the question that is before us, who is a good leader? Well, what are the qualities of a good leader? Well, a good leader encourages and motivates other people. As a founder of Korea Carpe Diem Toastmasters Club and a president of the club on several occasions, I can honestly say that I did my best to encourage and motivate other people. Secondly, a good leader can listen to others and respect their ideas. I will admit that this, for me, is a bit of a challenge at times, especially if the other person's ideas really seems illogical or, let's say, not practical. Thirdly, a good leader is organized and can organize others. I can honestly say, yes, I'm organized and I do organize others, but we have to draw the line between organizing others and micromanaging. 4, a good leader supports his team. Well, I believe I supported my team at Korea Carpe Diem's Toastmasters Club in Busan, South Korea. But what happens if you have 1 or 2 weak links in the chain? Yes, still, of course, you have to support your team. A good leader doesn't blame others. I'm sure all of us have fallen into that trap one time or another of blaming others. But it's true, we shouldn't blame others. We should accept the responsibility of a failed project ourselves. A good leader is one who knows the way and goes the way and shows the way. That is a quote from John C. Maxwell. A good leader knows how to delegate. Now, how many of you have taken on too many tasks? I definitely have taken on too many tasks. I mean, a good leader doesn't intentionally want to take on too many tasks, but if you try to show a team member something and you have to show them over and over and over and they're just not catching on, or for some reason they are just not interested or they're too busy, often a team leader will probably take on too much. So I want to share with you Korea Carpe Diem Toastmasters Glory Days. From 2014 to 2017, we were either Distinguished Club or President's Distinguished Club. But I left the club in 2017. Membership started to decrease, and since 2017, we haven't even been distinguished club. Why is that? I'm not quite sure. I rejoined the club in November of 2019. Now, the goal is to be a hybrid club. That is to have face-to-face meetings and online at the same time using Zoom technology, or 2 face-to-face meetings and 2 online meetings, a hybrid club. I am facing a lot of opposition right now as a VP of Education trying to achieve this goal. And we have had a membership campaign, and I've recruited speakers from all over the world successfully. And I say I. Of course, Mr. Jung Yoon Sik, a fellow DTM, has helped me, but it has been very difficult to get others to help me. Our club only has 8 members, paid active members, to be honest with you. What is the future? Well, the future, we will find out the future on June the 8th when there is an election. I'm running for president of that club, and the current VP of membership is also running for president. Wow, only 8 or 9 active members, and to have a contested election with such few members, it shows that there is division within such a small club. Will we disappear, the club that myself and Mr. Jung founded? I hope not. I'm not a magician. Please send me your positive thoughts. Mr. Toastmaster, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Patrick Guilfoyle, sharing with us your very personal journey of developing your club, the best for your May charter, greater grounds and higher grounds and success in the future. Thank you very much for sharing. Relationship path. Level 1, mastering fundamentals, the icebreaker. Now, obviously, this is not his icebreaker or his first speech for that matter, because he is the reigning international speech champion here at our Singapore Online Toastmasters Club. Now, but we'll hang on for the moment. Let us hear from his evaluator first. That is distinguished Toastmaster Lee Buckley. Toastmaster Lee, could you give us his purpose statements, please?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. As you mentioned, this is not Toastmaster Panos's first speech, but it is his icebreaker on a new path, strategic relationships. The purpose of an icebreaker is for the member to introduce him or herself to the club and to also learn the basics of a public speech. I will be looking out for a lot of, how would I say, content and delivery tonight in his speech. And back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Lee. Now, if I were you, I will be really scrutinizing our champion. Give it to him. Give him all the improvements he can get for tonight, enthusiastically and constructively, of course. Now, he's given us a curveball as well in his title, a constant icebreaker. Is that what you're feeling right now, Toastmaster Panos? So delivering a constant icebreaker, let us give it up for Toastmaster Panos Corral.
When was the last time you read the book again for the first time? When was the last time you read the book again for the first time? While you're sitting and pondering, Panos, your opening line makes no sense. Let me ask you this. When was the last time that you kissed your partner again for the first time? When was the last time that you embraced your child again for the first time? Toastmaster of the evening, and you, fellow book lover, kisser, and enthusiastic giver of hugs, I say the world is a book, and those who travel get to read many of its pages. This is the book of my recent journeys. It's titled A Constant Icebreaker. And what a colorful book this is, full of the feelings of companionship, stories of humor, and a face in each and every page. How does companionship feel? Companionship in my journey is revealed in actions that unite us. The other day, I got a call from my friend Ed, a division director in the Philippines. Panos, do you think you can connect us with a speaker that we have no way of getting in touch with? Ed, I'll do the best within my power and my network to help you out. Okay, the speaker is in China. What? And you're asking me? I'm sitting in Greece. Panos, we're really at our wits' end here. There's no way to get through to this speaker. Ed, I'll do the best within my power and my network. So something strange in the Toastmasters neighborhood. Who do you call? You guessed right. You call Toastmaster Aaron from Hong Kong. Aaron, can you do something for me? Panos, what's wrong? What's happening? Panos, Aaron, can you get me in touch with the speaker in China? Okay, Panos, give me a day. Did Aaron solve this problem? Yes, he did. Did the speaker agree to come to the Philippines and give her workshop? Yes, she did. Did her workshop elicit a great response? Yes, it did. Did I sleep the night before? Not a single second. Yet again, in my journey, companionship was revealed in the actions that unite us. The journeys in my book are also filled with stories of humor. Like the other night, again in the Philippines, I was in the same room with the 1999 world champion of public speaking, my childhood hero, Craig Valentine. And I was fortunate enough to be the first person who opens the Q&A with the question. So what did I want to do? I wanted, of course, to make an impression and start strong with a big compliment. So I see my microphone being unmuted, everybody looking at me. And I start by saying, Craig, thank you for the incredible value you brought to us tonight. This was well worth the loss of time. Loss of time? What? Take it back, take it back. Okay, Craig, so sorry. Loss of sleep. It's currently 5 a.m. here in Athens. Thankfully, I could recover for that. Humor in my journeys is revealed in the moment. Hopefully, we're still friends with Craig. And my book, in each and every page, has a face. Joining a meeting in Mumbai. Hi, Shekhar. Or in Australia. Hi, Lee. Or here at home, at Singapore online. When those faces fill the screen, the heart gets wings. I say the world is a book, and those who travel get to read many of its pages. When was the last time you read your book of recent journeys? How many pages can fit in a book? How many faces can fit in a heart? Mr. Toastmaster,
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Panos. Wow, I was actually caught out by that line. How many faces can fit in a heart? How many do you reckon, Toastmaster Panos?
So far, it's in the order of hundreds, because I've felt so incredibly welcome in my over 100 now global visits in Toastmasters clubs that I feel I'm only now beginning to understand how special the community I belong to is, in fact.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that is essentially the Toastmasters family. And right now, we are one big global Toastmasters family. We are experiencing some common experiences right now with the COVID situation. But here we are tonight, to this evening, this afternoon, wherever our time is and our place is in this space, sharing these wonderful speeches and experience. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Panos, for your wonderful speech. Now, our next speaker will be speaking from the High Performance Leadership Manual, presenting the results. She is Toastmaster Alicia Chia, also of the Singapore Online International Toastmasters Club. Now, before we bring her in, let us invite her evaluator, Toastmaster Yip Lee Sien, to give us the purpose statements of this project. Lee Sien, please.
Everyone, especially to you, Alicia. Your project is, the objective of the project is for the purpose of the second speech is for the member to share some experience completing the project. So this is like a part 2 of this high performance leadership project. The timing sequence is 5 to 7 minutes, and the title of Alicia's speech is Reviving Whampoa Toastmasters Club. All the best, Alicia.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Lee Sien. As mentioned by her evaluator, Toastmasters Alicia's speech will be entitled Reviving Whampoa Toastmasters Club, which is the Toastmasters Club that Toastmaster Alicia is also part of. And this is, of course, the final report for the high performance leadership on the hows and the whats, on what was done to revive the Whampoa Toastmaster Club. So let us put our hands together and welcome our next speaker. She is Toastmaster Alicia Chia.
Give me a minute. Let me share my screen. A scorching Friday evening, day or afternoon to club president, to members and guests. Today I was speaking on a high performance leadership project, and my title is Revive Whampoa Toastmaster Club. And basically I'll be going through this agenda. First, where do we want to go? Then, how can I revive the club? Steps to revive the club, and progress tracking. Now, when I first became the president, I had the vision to bring Whampoa back to its glorious days. And this vision became cemented, became more cemented when I became president. But while I was the VPE, the year before I became president, I already started some work. And it went into my mission statement. In my work as a VPE, I already started the rebuilding process and went into more momentum when I became president this term. And I used Toastmasters Moments of Truth to help me revitalize Whampoa. And Moments of Truth I believe everybody is aware of it. And let me roughly go through what is it. Moments of truth consist of first impressions. What you think of the club when you first go through it, as a member or even as a guest. Then membership orientation, how we orientate our members. Then we also have fellowship, variety, and communication. Then the main class of it is program planning and meeting organization, membership strength, and the final piece of the moments of truth is engage achievement recognition. Now, where do we want to go? I shall go deeper into the moments of truth which I did for WAMPO. For first impressions, the target was to have more community bonding in the WAMPO area and try to move back to the conference room for club meeting, because happened that there were renovations being done to the conference room that we were using most of the time. The conference room was the best area to have meeting because we had a big table, many facilities like the whiteboard, visual aid, the projector, etc. In terms of membership orientation, we target to have new members be given materials to read, as well as the new members getting inducted every 3 months. When it comes to fellowship, variety, and communication, we need to keep on having good, nice foods and snacks, and keep 15 minutes at least for fellowship. For program planning and meeting organization, our target was to move on to educational workshops and go club visiting, and ensure that our meeting slots are filled and not removed. Also ensure the meetings are filled with our own members and not the meeting being filled by only guests. Our membership strength, we also need to meet a target of minimum 16 members and to have every meeting to have guests joining us. And finally, for the achievement recognition, we also target to recognize each member when they have completed a level in pathway. And how can I revive the club in terms of this moments of truth format? I set targets and then we match the targets with actions. So for first impressions, when it comes to more community bonding and trying to move to the conference room, my objective was always to make every meeting inspiring and fun. And I always open the president's speech with inspiring president messages, and it's based on theme. Membership orientation, we said we're going to give materials for members to read, new members to read, and be inducted every 3 months. So whenever we had new members, we will send them links for them to read about Toastmasters and pathways, the 2 essential things that a new Toastmaster need to know. And the new members are inducted every 2 to 3 months. As for fellowship, we did maintain the refreshments and networking for at least 15 minutes. And as we get to the main core, the program planning and meeting organization, we moved on to educational talks on pathways, visits to overseas Toastmaster in India, where my VPE, he happened to went overseas and he came back and even told us about how the overseas Toastmaster Club perform and how we can learn from it. When it comes to meeting slots, we also identified good evaluators from our club as well as visiting Toastmasters. And we brought in new language evaluators. As you know, language evaluators are very difficult to get, good quality ones. And we also train our members through mentorship. When it comes to membership strength, we wanted to meet minimum 15 members and to increase our club meetings when membership increased. And so what we did was we publicized the club through social media, like Facebook, Eventbrite, and we even had a YouTube for Whampoa Toastmaster. Check it out. And after every meeting, we always post our meeting photos and videos. And I noticed our videos are very popular. And participate in Facebook groups such as Whampoa Community Facebook group. The current membership is now 8. And it was 11, and it will be 11 till September 2020. Last July 2019, our membership was 11. And for achievement recognition, we want to recognize members when they complete a path, every level at a path. And so we recognize members in our chat groups. We congratulate them, as well as during chapter meetings when they complete a level. Now, these are the steps I did to revive the club and the progress tracking. As you can see, I have divided the whole term into 4 quarters for easier viewing. For the first impressions, I had the club exco installation, showcase of club, of appointment of club mentor, our DTM Muti. He is our official club mentor, and his role was to appoint mentors for new members and also new member installation. Then you can see the next quarter, we had new member installation, followed by the 3rd quarter, we went on board with online attendance meetings as early as March. And we have continued for the last quarter to date. Despite being online attendance meeting, we still continued the warm culture of Whampoa Toastmaster Club. That is our signature. Whenever people have come to our club, they always say that we have a very, very warm culture. And as you can see, all the things that we did from 1st quarter to last quarter now, we have ensured the meetings are filled with audience. Never cancel a meeting and continue to have inspiring and fun meetings. I remember I only canceled 1 meeting, and that was because our entire exco, we went for the training, COT course, COT for our exco. And so we had no choice, we had to cancel the meeting. Other than that, we have never canceled a meeting. For membership orientation, we have sent guests the list, links to our Toastmaster programs and pathways, and we assigned them mentors, which were selected by our club mentor, DTM Muti. But you can see there's nothing done from January to June. Reason being is because of COVID-19, which has disrupted our recruitment program. But nevertheless, we still will continue recruitment despite the difficulties. When it comes to fellowship, we have our very theme-based. In every quarter, you could see very important themes being celebrated, like National Day, Christmas, Chinese New Year, and for this month, for next month, we are a mega celebration, which is Whampoa's 15th anniversary celebrations on 30th June. Mark that date down. And we have always ensured that every meeting we have 15 minutes of break for fellowship and networking within our exco and members to connect with guests as well as within our own members. And for the program planning and meeting organization, we have our member induction and we have conducted 2 workshops. In the first first quarter, you could see that we conducted an effective evaluation workshop on 14 September, which was followed by another workshop of pathways in October. And when we come to January to March, we had the concept of renew, refresh, and refocus. And for the last quarter of this term, we focus on building momentum to complete traditional advanced manuals. Now, membership strength, despite a small club, we still managed to recruit 3 new members during the first quarter and the second quarter of the term. And we have started heavily using social media, and even our excos have all been given admin status and rights to manage the club Facebook page and be able to respond to messages. Now, finally, the achievement recognition part. We are always happy to recognize the achievements of our members, old and new. So in the first quarter, when I first became president, I called on our existing members whenever we have the chapter meeting first quarter to recognize their past contribution and got them to share their Toastmaster journey. Then the second quarter, we recognized new members who have started the first speeches. And the third quarter, we recognize members' achievements for that quarter. And the exciting part that's coming soon to the end of the last quarter, next month, we will launch our Hall of Fame Awards to recognize all the members for their achievements for this term. Now, thank you everybody for having patience to listen to my sharing of how I revitalize Whampoa. And let me give you a Whampoa enthusiastic cheers. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alicia, on presenting your high performance leadership speech on how you revived your club. And good to know that you've seen some success, and hopefully it's something that we can also pick up, because I know quite a few of us struggled, especially in this period where very few walk-in guests are expected in our various clubs. So thank you very much, and we do wish your club continued success in the future. Now, our next speaker will be speaking also from the Leadership Excellence series, giving effective feedback. She is our member Toastmaster Pallavi Singh. Now, before she goes on with her speech, let us welcome her evaluator, one of the famous evaluators here in Singapore. He is Toastmaster Thomas Chen to read out the purpose statement. Thomas, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. So the speaker has actually sent me her evaluation form, but according to the evaluation form, there's no specific objective. So I think we can just go straight into the speech itself.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Now, this speech will run for 10 to 15 minutes. That's 10 to 15 minutes. Our timer will show us the green background at the 10 minutes mark. At the 13 minutes mark, he will show us the amber background. And at the 15 minutes mark, he will show us the red background. All right. So before we welcome Toastmaster Pallavi Singh, she is a speaker that believes effective feedback is necessary to enhance performance and increase efficiency. Constructive feedback motivates people to improve performance by enhancing their ability, encouraging efforts, and acknowledging results. So let us hear from Toastmaster Pallavi Singh on feedback, and let's see if she can rope in some effective feedback titled The Breakfast of Champions Feedback. Let us give it up for Toastmaster Pallavi Singh.
before I start up, I would just like to share one feedback that my evaluator and myself, we are coincidentally wearing the same color, which is a color of enthusiasm, red, love, and warmth. So wishing you all Toastmasters across the world a very warm and enthusiastic evening, night, or morning. Today I'm coming up with a project called Giving Effective Feedback. The title of the project, as aptly mentioned by the TMD, is Breakfast of Champions, is feedback. Now we all might have heard about a saying that goes, we should have our breakfast like king, lunch like prince, and dinner like pauper. Probably that's so true because once we have breakfast like kings, that means we aim to become champions in our life. And if we get effective feedback, no one can stop us from the path of progress. Now, next question comes, I'll just pick from what Patrick, I guess, said in the speech today. Leaders are not magicians, I agree. But indeed, leaders have a magic wand. They have the magic and the power to transform lives from a bare stone to a shining diamond. And they have two magic wands in their hand. One is the wand of encouragement and the other is the wand of feedback. Now, when we talk about an encouragement or encouragement by the leader is proactive because he's encouraging his team, his employee, or his subordinate by giving encouragement before doing a task. But when we talk about feedback, it is thoroughly reactive. That means the leader has to give a constant feedback on a reactive basis to the subordinate, to the team member, so that the person understands where was the gap and what needs to be done to bridge that gap. And today I will be talking about feedback as a reactive strategy taken by the leaders to bridge that gap and help the members to achieve success in whatever paths they want. Now, next, the most important thing is we need to understand why feedback. So generally, I read across that in many cultures, it has been said that if you burp, that signifies that the food is quite tasty. And just on the contrary, I've created a funny acronym that says BARP. Now, what is BARP? BARP is the gist of feedback. How? When we say BARP, we talk about the behavior of the employee, the team, the member. A stands for attitude. Attitude, we all know, can make and break. If luck doesn't count, change your attitude and you will definitely rise. Next is R. R stands for relationship. If you give a good feedback, timely feedback, definitely there would be warmth and a good relationship between the team members, and as a result, collectively, the member will progress, the team will progress, the company will progress, and as a result, everything will be in unison. As you can see in the slide, in the picture down, there are 4 characters over there, stands for behavior, attitude, relationship, and progress, which ultimately leads to the success not only of the individual, but the entire team. Followed by that, I would like to come up with certain facts. Now, Gallup researchers have quoted that why is feedback so important? So Dr. Marshall Losada, she conducted a very interesting research and she came out with the fact that positive teams were those teams which shared effective feedback in a proportion of 6:1. That means that if you want to make your team member or a fellow member or an employee effective, ideally you can give a negative feedback only when you have given them 6 positive feedbacks, and that is the way to balance effective positive feedback and to increase the productivity of your entire team. Not only that, there has been a very good research further, same by Gallup researchers, and they say that giving positive feedback to your employees, and over here in Toastmasters, we can equate it with the members. Now, there are 4 key benefits of giving a positive feedback. The first one is higher employee engagement or higher member engagement. Now, it has been noticed that if a member or if a team of employees are given positive feedback, 67% of the members are more focused and more engaged towards their task, right? That is what we all want from the team. Next, moving on is improved employee productivity. Now, as a Toastmaster, we have seen that many people join the club, but the productivity is missing. That means they have not yet started with their projects, or if they have started, there is a long, wide gap between the projects. So here works positive feedback. And in this particular research, it was clear that 12.5% is the increase in productivity if the employees are given constant positive feedback, again, keeping in the proportion of 6:1. Besides that, when we talk about lower turnover rate, I think that is again one of the basic problems that in Toastmasters Club we all face. A club of good standing over the time faces turnover problem. But the key to solve that problem is positive feedback. And it has been witnessed in this research that the turnover rate lowered by 14.9%. And the most effective thing was increase in the profitability by the members. If we give constant positive feedback in a loop form to the members, the profitability factor of various companies has increased by 8.9%. So what's stopping us to do the change? Let's wave our magic wand and move ahead. Next question comes, how to spread the magic across in the company or in our Toastmasters Club? To keep it very short, I would say, just remember two things, pip and rip. Whenever you praise, praise in public. And whenever you have to reprimand, or when you have to, out of those 6:1, remember that one should never be in public, it should be in private. That is reprimand in private. Apart from that, we have certain other key factors over here that we need to pay attention when we are giving feedback. It should be genuine, it should be timely, focused on effort, framed in context, followed by a proper body language, amplified with a gesture, personalized and quite genuine. I have ample of suggestions rolling out my sleeves, and I'll be sharing one by one. So I'll pick two examples from today's speeches and the break session. Today, when I joined Toastmasters meeting, I joined during the break just after the table topic section. And I heard Dr. Mukhlis, and I think it's not for the first time, ever since Dr. Mukhlis has joined our meetings, he has always been asking the club president for the breakout rooms. And he had been persistent to give that particular feedback until it was not heard. As a result, what happened, we didn't have a breakout room today, but we had a cordial chit chat. And it was quite free, such that Sonali Agarwal, a new member this is her second visit, opened up and shared with Anand and everyone across. So that is what a family stands for. And thank you, Dr. Mukhlis, to make the family more stronger and come closer, and by being persistent with your feedback to our club president. Next, I would move to the speakers. I remember very well, it's not for the first time, but yes, what Phillip did today, he raised a toast to the club. He came with positive feedbacks. So that was amplified with a gesture. Panos got a appreciation speech from Hiren. I missed out the title, but yes, that was again amplified with a gesture. Next comes genuine, timely, and specific feedbacks. Now, my speech being the last speech is followed by a feedback session, that is evaluation session. So genuine, timely, and specific. When our evaluators give us feedback with respect to our speeches, they are genuine, they are timely, and they are specific. They tell us in a burger pattern, what are the good points, what are the key features of the speeches, and how the speaker can improve. And not only this, I have a very warm and wonderful story to share about feedback, especially with respect to being timely, framed in context. Understanding how time plays a very, very important role in building or in breaking a company or a person. I went for my area director visit to one of the clubs. And over there, I came across a very charming and very eloquent speaker. And I was really impressed by her speaking skills. And I noticed that she had her traditional path left in between, and she was working on her pathways. So after this, the entire chapter meeting, I went to that lady in person and I told her, you have all the qualities and you still have the time frame left with you. Why don't you continue your traditional path and get your DTM? And that was the point when I introduced her to the SG Online Club. She paid heed to it. And it gives me immense pleasure to say that I have not attained or credited my ACG, but my mentee, she has got her ACG, and that's her achievement. And that is the importance of giving a timely advice. So if you really have to wave your wand, make it timely, make it meaningful, and make it totally positive gesture without any reward in return. Next is when to give feedback. There are various times when the leader need to understand that this is the time I need to give the feedback. Now over here, I would like to quote several examples from our own SG Online Club. The club president has been constantly updating in the groups, commending various participants or the club members for achieving their goals. Many a times their personal goals have made the club achieve an extra mile. So these are all the ways that can boost the confidence of the club members, bring them together as a family, and all of us can grow. But the most important thing over here we need to understand is we just need not focus only on few people. We just need not focus on the negativities. We need to appreciate everyone in the team because it's just like a pearl necklace. All the persons in the team are like individual pearls, which has their own shine, which has their own positivity, which has their own character. And each of them deserve equal appreciation. So whenever the leader sees any good thing in any person, they should come up genuinely and appreciate, because you never know, one word of yours can make someone's day, can make someone's life, and can bridge that gap in the success. And at the end, I would like to conclude saying that if you are a true leader, question yourself, has your feedback ever changed someone's life? Because as Nelson Mandela said, there is no success and no failure, or there is no winning and failure. It's learning. And it is the true leader who transforms the failure into learning by his or her feedback. So are you a true leader? And are we the champions? Let us see how good champions we are in our next evaluation section. So come on, let's move ahead for our breakfast time. Over to you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Pallavi Singh, for that very comprehensive sharing on giving feedback. And I'm sure at some point in our life, we do need to give and receive feedback, especially in our Toastmasters journey. So that wraps up all our prepared speakers for tonight. We initially planned for 8 speakers. Unfortunately, one of our speakers is unable to join us. So we do have a total of 7 speakers tonight. So before we proceed with the choosing or the voting of the best speaker, the best prepared speaker, could we have the timers report by the timer, please, Toastmaster Dan?
Yes, Mr. Toastmaster, I posted the times in the chat, and I believe we only had 1 speaker go overtime, and that was Alicia.
All right, thank you so much. So Toastmaster Alicia is not eligible for voting. All right, we do have the voting platform ready in front of you. So if you could just choose your best speaker for tonight, the best prepared speaker. Unfortunately, we won't be able to count Toastmaster Alicia within that list. Now, at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, we will adjourn for 10 minutes for a short break for you to stretch, perhaps get another cup of tea, Toastmaster Lee Buckley, or coffee for that matter. We are approaching midnight here in Singapore. So yeah, do grab whatever you need to grab, and we will be back in 10 minutes, just about 11:40 p.m. here in Singapore. That'll be in 10 minutes time. So we'll catch you then. the end of our break, I wasn't going to get involved in the middle of a United Nations meeting, 3 nations having a very enthusiastic discussion, but we will have to put that on hold for the moment as we proceed with the next portion of our program, which is the members. You can catch up with one another after our meeting in just a short while, but we will go on with our evaluations to welcome our 7 evaluators. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce the winner of the best prepared speaker for tonight. Give a drum roll, everyone. A virtual drum roll. Yeah. I could see that. She is none other than Toastmaster Pallavi Singh. Congratulations, Toastmaster Pallavi, for that very comprehensive speech. I'm sure you have gained a couple of fans tonight as well. Now, to kick off our evaluations for tonight, to evaluate our speaker, Joan D'Souza, we have effective humor. Is it effective humor? Effective humor level 3. He is one of our own Singapore Online Toastmasters Club member. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together and welcome Toastmaster Choi Hyung Min.
Thank you, Hakim. Hello, fellow Toastmaster. So Joanne was a great speaker. She was a great storyteller. And she shared today about the story of the founder of this very program that we are in, the Zoom video conferencing program. And for the sake of the founder, I would give my evaluation the acronym ZOOM, Z-O-O-M. So first 2 letters, Z and O, stand for zealous and optimism. So the founder built this powerful platform, and then he and his product is a living evidence that positivity and optimism wins in life. And when you pursue your dream, you can achieve whatever you want in your life. If you don't give up, you will always win. So, and this message was such a timely and opportune message because we are in a difficult time fighting against COVID-19. We are isolated, but thanks to this program, we are constantly reminded that if we stick together and then if we don't give up, we will see the light in the tunnel. So in that sense, Joanne shared really positive and optimism and also enthusiastic story that we have to remind ourselves on a daily life. So let's move on to the next point. She fascinated me, which is O, stand for original. At first I hear her story and the main character's name, Baba. I thought it's a story about Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba company. But little did I know that until she shared the product's video conferencing, I didn't know that this is the story of Eric Wien, the founder of this product. So ladies and gentlemen, to give a good storytelling or speech, you have to remember to play hard to get. What I mean by is that you have to give, you should not give the audience the surprise like right away. You should build their expectation, and then you should manage to release your surprise. So it will leave lasting impression to the audience. So lastly, as a suggestion and recommendation for your next speech, I would like to remind you to think about more detail, which stand for M. So you share about why the founder was successful, his key to strength, which was hard work and humility. But instead of saying some abstract concept of why he was successful, it would be better in your next time, maybe think about how he was successful. I come across his interview, why he was successful. He once sent all personal email to the client who canceled the products. So in your next speech, it will be better to think about more specific. It's a meat of your speech. It will help the audience to empathize with your story and picture the struggles. So overall, Joanne, you did a good job to share positive story. Thank you for amazing storytelling today. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Choi Hyung Min. Thank you very much. I beg your pardon, I forgot to inform the timing for our evaluations. That is 2 to 3 minutes, of course. The green light or the green screen on the second minute, 2.5 we'll see the amber screen, and at 3 minutes, the red screen. Thank you so much, our first evaluator, Toastmaster Choi Hyung Min. Now to evaluate our second speaker for this evening, Toastmaster Phillip Dambisa, we have our club advisor, distinguished Toastmaster Patricia Lam. Can we welcome distinguished Toastmaster Patricia Lam, please?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Hello, Phillip, if you're somewhere on the screen. I am enthusiastic about your speech. You have the making of an effective speaker. You were cheerful and you know how to position yourself in the center of the screen. And that is important if you want to be a professional speaker. Well, you smile a lot and you had natural hand gesture, natural body language, and natural eye contact. You did not try very hard to move your hands, but they come very naturally. I am comfortable listening to you with your clear, calm voice, and you spoke slowly, not rushing. I also like your story. Very engaging because I recognize the beautiful Singapore you told us about. You praised my country, and how can anyone not be happy with that praises? I like that you started and ended your speech with a toast, which is very welcoming. Now, earlier before the speech, you spoke to me and you say you wanted to work on your confidence. And to gain confidence, practice and know your speech very well. And if your speech flows smoothly, then you will focus on it and your confidence will naturally be floating along with the speech as well. And you will then forget about your negative vibe around you. And you will be able to focus and focus on your speech, and then you will be confident. You also told me that you wanted to work on your vocal variety. Now, to work on vocal variety, consider using pauses. Although you spoke slow, you were not rushing, but do at some point pause. Stress on some points, at some points. Put feeling when you say, perhaps like garden by the base. Put your feeling so that we could feel you as well. And change the sound of your voice, the tone, at certain time when you want to feel happy, when you want to feel excited, do make it sound like that. Thirdly, I also felt that your speech was a bit too short. It could be stretched to perhaps like 4 minutes 30 seconds. And how do you stretch your speech? Give us more example of what you like about Singapore. And perhaps compare certain parts of Singapore that you like with other places that you have seen, that you have traveled to, that will give us some ideas also about what you have seen so far. Now for this speech, I felt you were awesome. You had chemistry with your audience. You engaged and connected with us. You gave us nice stories to work on your confidence and your vocal variety. Consider spending more time to know your speech contents. Practice help. To end, I like to give my favorite quote again. if everything is coming your way, you are in the wrong lane, and it's okay if something doesn't come your way. Believe me, the next time your next speech would be terrific. Good luck. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Patricia Lam, for your evaluation of Patrick's speech. Now, our next speaker will be evaluating Toastmaster Doreen Neo, and I would say he's probably one of our biggest fans, maybe, if I may call you that. He is none other than Dr. Mukhlis Rahman. Dr. Mukhlis, you're still with us, aren't you? Let's see, where is he? Dr. Mukhlis, he is here.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with his wonderful red tie, let us put our hands together and welcome Dr. Mukhlis Rahman.
Good morning, Singapore. It's only good morning here, also in USA. This has been almost 2 hours. Are you all enthusiastic about the whole Singapore Online? I am. I love this club because of some of the leaders in 6 months has achieved so much and have welcomed people like myself and many of the new guests to come and join you. And I've been inspired, motivated to visit even other clubs. I'm trying to follow the steps of Panos. I may not get 100 clubs, but I'll get there 10 or 20. Mr. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and most honored guests. And most importantly, Doreen. Title was Get the Heart to Move the Mind. Such a wonderful title. I loved it at the first sentence. Then she used a magic formula: persuade, motivate, and inspire. What a great formula to share and start her speech. She had excellent gestures. I was very impressed with her pauses and transitions. Of course, she has been a Toastmaster for some time and is an excellent speaker. She emphasized communication and leadership skills. More importantly, she emphasized listening skills. Beyond that, she went into the matter of acknowledgement. Try to understand the other person. Be mindful. Know the status of the person you're trying to motivate, inspire, or persuade. It was an excellent speech. What can I say? Some minor suggestions. I saw at some point, not throughout, you had looked down to read something. As you grow into more mature speech, like I'm doing, reading my notes because I just prepared, it's good if you can avoid it. The other thing I wanted to see more of is smile. Smile from the beginning to the end. Because you have a great message. How do you make that message more warm and friendly and received by your listeners or audience? Is smile a lot. A smile is worth 1,000 miles. Overall, an excellent speech with language, delivery, content. You are a master speaker. Looking forward to more speeches. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mukhlis Rahman. I would give you the title of Most Enthusiastic Tie. I love your bright red tie. That's exactly what I need at this time of the night. Really spikes me up. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Mukhlis. Now, our next speaker. Oh, yes, Thomas, I know you're showing off your red shirt. We'll come to you in a while. Our next speaker is our Vice President of Education, Dynamic Leadership, Level 5. She will be evaluating the speech by distinguished Toastmaster Patrick Guilfoyle, I'm not a magician. Let's see if his evaluator is a magician. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Toastmaster Naveen Giri. Toastmaster Naveen, there you are.
Hello, can you all hear me? Good day to everyone, and especially to you, Patrick. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, great. Good day to everyone, and especially to you, Patrick. You have brought us in a fascinating journey into your life. And are you sure you're not a magician? Because you have regaled us with such a fantastic story. It's so magical. With such enthusiasm, it is really magical. I really enjoyed how the way you start off by telling us that you couldn't do those card tricks no matter what you did, and your son actually surpassed you in this endeavor. But I'm sure he's very proud of you with the speech that you delivered today, and I'm sure all of us are. You even quoted some celebrities, Teddy Roosevelt and John Maxwell. As your speech progressed, you brought us into your leadership role as an EXCO member of your club, your Toastmasters Club. And you showed us, you brought us all the way. I'm really impressed with the progression of your speech. It really shows that you have put a lot of thought in it, and you actually work with it. And you've come up with a very good speech. That was an impressive speech. The only criticism I have is that your conclusion was not really impactful. You could have made it slightly more impactful with a take-home message. But I know that we were short of time and you had a lot of things to pile on. And at the end of the speech, you said that you could have, you were tooting your own horn, and I think you deserve to do that. That was a good thing, because you have put in the effort to actually bring your club to that level. I really congratulate you, Patrick, and I hope to hear from you again. Congratulations. Over to you, Toastmasters of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Naveen. Love the evaluation, and I love the hair again. I'm also joining you with my slightly long hair, waiting to go to the barber soon.
Yeah, barbers aren't open.
Yeah, exactly. We have to develop our own hair cutting skills.
They're open.
Okay, our next evaluator coming from down under from Sydney. She is none other than Toastmaster Lee Buckley, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Panos Corral. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Lee Buckley.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Wow, what a powerful opening. When was the last time you read a book again for the first time? Not only did Toastmaster Panos ask us once, but he used the power of 3 in getting the audience to reflect on the question. When was the last time we did something and felt like it was the first time? When was it the first time we kissed our partner, embracing our child, or even meeting people? Toastmaster Panos engaged us with his enthusiasm throughout his speech. He had the book prop. He had dialogues with vocal varieties in portraying the different characters. He involved the audience by saying hi and wave to Shekhar and myself. He even had humor in his speech. My hat's off to you, Toastmasters Panos. The COVID-19 has given us a silver lining. We can now zoom around the world from the comfort of our home to hone our online speaking and presentation skills. In light of that, I would like to offer some points for personal growth in terms of gestures when presenting online. In the first dialogue, the Division K director was looking at Panos when he was speaking. Unless he was vertically challenged like me or a child, looking at eye level would have been more impactful when doing a dialogue. In the second dialogue, he held the phone during his conversation with Aaron. And this. In one of the recent workshops held by a world champion, a past world champion, he reminded us to be more realistic when portraying phone. We don't hold our mobile phones this way. We hold our mobile phones this way. So this would have been a better hand gesture rather than this. The last point I would like to share, again, is in terms of gestures. I'll just share something on the screen quickly. In face-to-face speeches, gestures are good, but in online presentation, as you can see, the hands were waving at the bottom of the screen. So what I would like to suggest to Toastmasters Panos is just be mindful of gestures, particularly when presenting online. Thank you, Toastmaster Panos, for your reminding us to stop and smell the roses and to get us to think, how many pages can we fit into our book? How many faces can we fit into our heart? Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Lee Buckley. I see that the same quote that I've got in my mind is also on yours. And if it's 12 a.m. here in Singapore, it's 2 a.m. there in Sydney. I don't know how you maintain that level of enthusiasm. How many cups of coffee or tea has it been? Oh my goodness, yeah, one whole bottle. Well, I applaud you for your energy as well as your wonderful evaluation of Toastmaster Panos' speech. Thank you so much. Now, our next evaluator is from Singapore once again. She is Toastmaster Yip Lee Sian. Give it up for Toastmaster Yip Lee Sian, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Alicia Chia. Toastmaster Yip, please.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters guests, and especially to you, Alicia. Thank you for being such an inspirational and educational, giving such an educational speech to us on how you revive Bumpo TMC. You have fulfilled your project objectives by sharing your plan, goals, and experiences throughout the process. So today I'm going to talk about what you excel at and how you can further improve your speech. So you are a very engaging speaker, and I was captivated by your presentation. You were using the more informational style, and you have shared in detail on how you were trying to revive Bumpo Toastmasters Club. Your content is really rich and valuable, and I have learned a lot into the technicalities on how a Toastmasters Club attracts and retains members, which all happens behind the scenes. As a normal member who has never been in the Exco, it will be probably, it's very hard for us to be aware of the efforts that has gone through to create such an engaging and conducive learning environment. The presentation had a great outline where you started with what you wanted to go, how to revive the club, the steps to achieve it, and how to track the progress. So every slide was very well explained, and you shared with us a lot of details. Your pacing of the speech was good with appropriate vocal varieties and eye contact, and I could feel your love and passion for Toastmasters and members' growth. So how to further improve on your speech? One key thing is that the project timing was supposed to be 7 minutes and you actually doubled it. I personally felt that there were a lot of things that you could talk about from the slides, and 40 minutes was actually not enough for you as well. So I'm hoping to see maybe a workshop so that you can tell us and explain to us the whole process, and we will learn a lot from it. So perhaps for this project, I would wish to hear more about how you interact with your team and maybe what leadership styles you have used in order to achieve your goals in various tasks. you needed to complete. Maybe perhaps what negotiation styles involved. And I felt that reviving Whampoa is a very huge project, which, as in your program, you listed it down. There are many tasks such as program planning, meeting organization, membership orientation, achievement recognition. So all this could, maybe you can take one of these to present during this speech and go into more depth, such as how it was executed, what challenges were faced, and why you learned what you learned. And then this will give us maybe more details on why we should use what you showed us, because today you showed us the technicalities of it. So we may not know why we should do it, but if you share with us what happened before and after, then it will be great. So in conclusion, I feel your passion for Toastmasters, and I hope to see more of your inspirational speeches and workshops. And I believe Whampoa Toastmasters is on track to going back to its glorious days or even better. So thank you very much, and back to you, TMD.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Alicia. And well, you're in for a treat because Toastmaster Alicia is going to run a workshop for our club in the next few weeks. So do tune in to the announcements, as well as you can check out with our club president, Willie Low, on the details of that workshop. And I'm sure we can learn a lot just based. She gave us a sneak peek just now, but I'm sure her workshop will be very beneficial. Thank you so much for your evaluation and for your speech as well, Toastmaster Alicia. Now, to wrap up our evaluation segment for this evening, we have the boy next door who is now all indoors. He's wearing red because he is enthusiastic and fiery, just as much as his speaker, Toastmaster Pallavi Singh. So friends, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our final speaker for this evening, our final evaluator for this evening. He is Toastmaster Thomas Chen. Thomas, I think you... What happened to you? Ah, there he is.
Can all of you hear me clearly before I begin?
Yes, but we can't see you. Okay, now we can see you.
All good, all good, clear? Okay?
Yes, very good.
Awesome. All right, fabulous Friday, ladies and gentlemen, especially to Pallavi. Today, it's indeed my privilege to give my feedback on Pallavi's feedback on giving feedback. Let's enthusiastically explore. I felt that Pallavi's speech was well delivered, well balanced, and well researched. Why was it well delivered? She harnessed the power of PowerPoints to relay such a content-intensive presentation to us in a streamlined and succinct manner. Her presentation was filled with vibrant pictures, not many words, yet able to convey across the information very actively and very accurately. Not only that, she arranged the information using abbreviations such as BRAP, PIP, RIP, which really helped us to register the information easily and effectively. Well balanced. She has the right touch of both factual information as well as story substantiation. So weave into the facts and figures are stories of how she personally practiced these feedback principles to enhance her relationship with others. For example, how she feedback to the other Toastmasters during her visit. Facts tells and stories sells. When she used both, she's able to tell and sell the information not only in a vivid manner, but also in a reliable fashion. And finally, well-researched. She used credible and reliable sources such as Gallup researchers as well as other research studies to elevate the convincing power of the information she presented to all of us. And us as audience, when we see such reliable sources, we are more assured and affirmed by the information shared itself. Really well done on that, Pallavi. Now I would love to share some recommendations so that Pallavi's feedback will inspire, impact, and influence others. So firstly, Pallavi, as the saying goes, tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. So something for you to consider is to involve the audience. And how could you do so? Ask us thought-provoking questions. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you are required to give feedback in a professional setting? And aside from that, something you can consider is to give us a live demonstration of how we should deliver a feedback itself, because it's not all just theories, but also the applications and our vocal variety, our body gestures, it all replies when we give the feedback itself, because we have to give open gestures, we have to give a motivating voice, show all of this as part of your demonstration of how you can deliver a fruitful and fulfilling feedback, right? And finally, what I want you to consider is to deep dive into specific, applicable, and relatable situation for us to use this wealth of knowledge you endow us with. For example, giving feedback in our professional life, giving feedback to our other half, which can be very important, or perhaps even giving feedback in a socializing setting itself. What are some of the other applicable and relatable situations? Share with us so that you can enhance your presentation more. In summary, I'd like to congratulate Pallavi. Well delivered, well balanced, and well structured. Do involve us more through audience engagement and live demonstration, as well as deep dive into specific application, and I'm sure you will be a spectacular speaker. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Thomas Chen, for that wonderful evaluation. I was just worried about the people in your left and right rectangle because your hands were moving very wildly. I was afraid you might slap them or accidentally hit them. Dr. Muklis was at risk because on my screen he's beside you. Just one small evaluation from me to you. It's a good Saturday morning here in Singapore. It's no longer Friday, my friend.
This kind of time.
But everything else on point, of course, as usual. Now, could we check with the timer? Is everybody qualified for voting among our evaluators tonight?
No, unfortunately, the first two evaluators were long. Everybody else was okay.
All right, so we will.
Me and Patricia were too long.
Out of 5 evaluators, I believe. So let us have the poll launched in a short while. Our president will assist us with that. But nonetheless, of course, congratulations to all our evaluators for giving such wonderful evaluations. Another round of applause for all of them. All right, so President Willie, are we having the poll now or? Okay, we are waiting for the poll to come up in a short while. Okay. It's all good, really. Give us a moment. Okay, here we go. The poll has been launched, ladies and gentlemen. I think with the exception of Hyung Min and Patricia, I believe the next 5 evaluators are qualified for voting. So you may choose between Dr. Muklis, Naveen, Lee Buckley, Lee Sien, and Thomas Chen. Okay. Yeah, we've got almost everyone. We're at 80%. If you haven't voted for your best evaluator for tonight, please do so at the voting screen right now. Okay, last call. Any other votes before we close the polling for this evening? Last 5 seconds here. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, and we do have a winner. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, our best evaluator for this evening. Let us welcome, or rather, let us congratulate Toastmaster Lee Buckley. Congratulations. To do an evaluation at An ungodly hour must have taken a gargantuan amount of effort, but you did it splendidly, just as our other evaluators as well. Thank you so much for voting. Congratulations once again, Toastmaster Lee Buckley. Now it gives me great pleasure to invite next our language evaluator for this evening. Let us put our hands together and welcome the affable, the enthusiastic, and very much awake Toastmaster Angela Lansbury.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the next day, Hakim. This evening we started with our president, who had 2 sets of alliterations. He talked about a difficult decision, but then he moved on to courage and confidence. Then we had Hakim himself, who talked about being enthusiastic, and we had so many people who used the word of the day. I was delighted with your enthusiasm. I was very interested to hear Australian saying, Lee Buckley saying good day, because I'd forgotten that and it was a good reminder. And she drew attention to something I had said, which was to mute or not to mute. Then we heard Sonal or Sonali saying very enthusiastic, and I liked this story about swiping right. And then more enthusiasm from Janet, enthusiastically go to work. Enthusiastically choose love. And I particularly liked the topic and the saying, stop saying I will, and sorry, stop saying I wish and start saying I will. I also liked enthusiasm for others and Lee Buckley thanking someone for their enthusiasm. Then we heard somebody with alliteration, start somewhere, and the rhyme, publicly and fluently. Under the topics, again, I like the way Lee Buckley said to somebody, I agree with you. I thought that was very nice. I thought I'll remember that phrase. If I haven't listened or I didn't agree, I can still say, I agree with you. That's a very handy phrase which covers everything. Can be used in multiple occasions. On this occasion, obviously, she clearly did agree with somebody, but she can even use it when she doesn't. Then I particularly like Linda Lamb's speaking about drifting like a leaf in the ocean. I thought that was beautiful. And Abdul Karim talked about going from negative to positive and a tunnel to your destination. And then when we missed out on something, instead of saying, oh my goodness, we forgot, we had, thank you so much for pointing that out. Now, I would like to come to 1 or 2 things I can help you with. Somebody said, as long as I got, I would have said, as long as I have. Somebody said more clearer, unnecessary word, just clearer is enough. Somebody said, thank you, forgive me. I think they meant thank you for giving me. And somebody said, I got opportunity. I would have said, I have an opportunity. And then 2 very important ones. On a slide, I saw somebody had, it's glorious days when there should not have been an apostrophe. When you have his, hers, and its, there's no apostrophe. The apostrophe is the little comma in the air, and it's there to tell you there's a missing letter. So no apostrophe in his, hers, its. There's an apostrophe when you mean it is. You've push the words together, and the little apostrophe is like crying out, there's a letter here, there's a letter here, it's missing. Have a look, there's a letter. If you use grammarly.com to check your slides, you'll find that it's so easy to get something wrong, even if you know what it should be. You know it's right, you reread it, and you think, oh, how did I do that? Use Grammarly, and if you're lucky, it will check it. Now, a couple of more things. The most important one is to get the present tense right. He or she walks. He or she talks. He or she goes. He or she does. I walk, you walk, they walk. He walks, she walks. Some of the speakers got it wrong once, and some speakers got it wrong several times. You only have to correct that error once, and you can correct a dozen different errors. So just learn that one thing, and it will be such a help to you. Somebody said the light in the tunnel. I thought that was very nice, though the more usual phrase is the light at the end of the tunnel. And a little hint on pronunciation. Somebody said welcoming, and it's welcoming. Can you all say welcome? Emphasis on the first syllable. Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome.
Can you all unmute and say welcome?
Welcome.
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 Right, that's enough.
Thank you.
I think you've all got it. I also heard feedback used. Somebody said she feedbacks me. It should be either she used feedback or she fed back. There's no such verb as feedbacks somebody. So I thought I'd point that out. And then from Thomas Chen, we had so many alliterations. Impact and influence, fruitful and fulfilling, socializing session, and even it's not Friday, my friend. All in all, an excellent evening. I must enthuse about your enthusiasm for using the words enthusiasm and enthusiastically. You did it so enthusiastically. Back to our enthusiastic Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much. Our wonderful language evaluator. I don't envy your role tonight. It was a long meeting and you captured a lot of wonderful things that we could learn from. Thank you so much, language evaluator Angela Lansbury. Now to wrap up tonight, before we call it a night or a morning, we have our R counter. So let's welcome Toastmaster Fiona Chen. Toastmaster Fiona, over to you.
Hello. As archangel, I'm supposed to count the numbers of people using unnecessary sound and repetitive words. But today, I believe everyone has done a great job in delivering their own speech. However, I do catch one in the fourth speech and 3 in the fifth speech. That's all the notes I've taken. Back to you, Toastmaster of tonight.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Fiona, for your R counter report. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is right at the end of our meeting tonight. It has been a long meeting. It has been a fruitful meeting. It has been an inspiring meeting. It has been a motivational meeting. For me, the line that stuck in my mind is really, how many people can you keep in your hearts, as shared by Toastmaster Panos earlier on. And I do hope that after tonight's meeting, you have a little space in your heart for our club here, the Singapore Online International Toastmasters Club. It has been such a pleasure being your Toastmaster of the evening. Thank you so much for being an enthusiastic audience. I really appreciate all the wonderful participation. Ladies and gentlemen, I leave you to close this meeting to our club president, distinguished Toastmaster, Willie Low. This is me signing out.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day or the morning, Hakim. Thank you. A year ago, I asked myself a question. Do I want to set up an online club or a physical club just to fulfill one of the advanced leader requirements under the traditional program? The thought of chartering a new Toastmaster club is to fulfill one of the advanced leader requirements or create a Toastmaster club that make a difference and serve the committee. I forget about this thought till 4 months later, in October 2019, where I was hit with another rejection that clubs are rejecting me because could be a club coach because they do not feel they have a need. Then I consulted Toastmaster, the Shekhar Toastmaster, Singh, who is a close friend of me. He advised me to go ahead and charter a new Toastmaster club, be it a physical club or online club, even it's outside of restricted club. He just tell me, you just go care what people say, just do it. Be it less than 1 hour after talking to him on 25th October 2019, I made the decision to start the club and pay for the application to organize this club. And went out to process to get various Toastmaster interests. Toastmaster Hakim, Toastmaster Alicia, Toastmaster Anna, and so forth, the chartered member. Without you, I will have made this far. For the past 1 week, after the club has received President Discretionary Club status, and just 2 days ago, we have reached 8 goals out of 10 goals out of 10 goals. Means the members have submitted all the goals to help the club to this level. The success is not. The decision made by me to start this online club was hit with so many more rejection where I started a charter club. I understand 3 days before I wish to submit the charter paper, I got 3 Toastmaster that withdraw. We couldn't contact them. And out of surprise, 3 Toastmasters came to contact me. They tell me that they want to join the club. Our club advisor, the Shekhar Toastmaster, the teacher now, messaged me. She said, online is so exciting. I want to join the club. I want to contribute. And the second call was for Toastmaster Jennifer. She said, how come you never invite me to join your Singapore online? I say that it's in the pipeline. It's just that I have no time to look into. I contact you. The third person who came to my rescue is our dear timer, Mr. Decisiveness Toastmaster Dennis. He saw my post asking for help. He immediately filled the form as transfer and pay me and transfer me the membership due through PayPal. I look back 6 months ago, the things I have learned, the club have progressed, the new thing that the chartered member and the new member, like Panos who joined us in January, we have seen everyone speaking development grow. The decision to charter this club was not wrong. It was actually a good decision that I made. Many people have congratulated me over the last few days on Facebook page. Dr. Muchi even advertised in the International Toastmasters Club and even on his personal profile, and even a Toastmaster Club called Newport Toastmaster Club in US, Toastmaster Larry. He also shared to say that this club was so marvelous. I asked myself, what did I do? And I also want to honor one person here tonight is Toastmaster Alicia Chia. She has been listening to my daily course every night till we speak until 3, 4 a.m. And the topic is not about anything else. It's about Singapore Online Toastmaster. she tell me that you are so naggy. You talk too much. I say, no. When we talk about Toastmaster, I so alive at that hour. And yet, when I was saying this speech, writing this speech, I almost broke down. And my voice sounds like I almost broke. But the success does not belong to me alone. The success belongs to the chartered member,
Really, we can't hear you for the last 10 seconds. I think this is the part where he's broke down in, he's very touched at the moment. Maybe Toastmaster Alicia, he has shared with you many things. You could help him continue at this point. All those late 3 a.m. Late night conversations, maybe. Okay. I can see that some words are coming out of his mouth, but I can't make it out at the moment. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure he will be back in a short while. You know, he's a persistent character, full of perseverance. Ah, there he is back. Really, we can't hear you still. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
A decision that started this club have created many feedback, many negative, many comments. But I know one thing for sure. I made the right decision to start this online club. And also make many champions. The champions are not the member of this club. The champions are every one of you who take the opportunity to come on Zoom and contest. That's where the Zoom culture started into Singapore, right? Toastmaster Hakim?
That's right.
My success, my decision to start this club. A lot of people say, you start it. You start at a time where we need you. We need this kind of service. So, fellow Toastmaster, if you want to start anything in life, be it in your career move, if you have two choices, you need to make a decisive decision based on the option. Not just saying, oh, I just want to set up something, but you go have a plan. So be a plan, you are able to set up, to have a decision that can bring you a long term, not just a short term. I will leave you with one quote that in my message. Make decision with confidence and courage. Take action and move on to the big decision. Fellow Toastmaster, have a nice day ahead. Thank you.